1, 2, 3, 4! From the Riffs! Alright, welcome back to From the Riffs with our in-depth look at the main book for Riffs. And, well, we'll let Carmen get back into it.
Yeah, we're going to pick up where we left off, going through the O.C.C.s. We left off with Practitioners of Magic. The first one is the Elemental Fusionist.
Elemental Fusionist is essentially like the master of mashups in the Riffs world. Essentially what the Elemental Fusionist does is he takes fire and water and air and earth, mixes them together, and essentially creates different mystical or magical effects. So whether you have fire that behaves like water, or filling a room with steam, or sending earth and swirls of air and high pressure, all these things are at his fingertips. Kind of a basic.
It's fairly easy because you only get a certain number of powers, a certain number of these specialized abilities. You do get a handful of low-level elemental spells, but not a ton of them, so it's a nice, simple beginning character.
Almost like being almost like a superhero character.
Yeah, very much so. The next one's the Leyline Walker. This is your traditional Gandalf-style mage who gets some extra abilities when they're on the Leyline.
Now, the Leyline Walker is awesome. So awesome, in fact, that he's highlighted on a full-page, full-color, fully painted page in this book. I do recommend you take a look at it in depth because it's great work. The Leyline Walker himself is powerful, of course, when he's near a ley line. I'll let Carmen elaborate more.
Well, that pretty much covers him. But there is a variant of the Leyline Walker called the Leyline Rifter, who gets to do some specialized spells on ley lines. But we'll leave him for that. Leave him now. The next one's the Mystic. The Mystic is basically your natural-born magic user. He doesn't really study.
Yeah, he's more or less kind of like the Michael Jordan of magic. It's that natural. Perhaps they never really studied, or if they studied at all, it was very basic, and then they were that person that just got it. One day they woke up and they were able to figure out how to cast a particular spell. It's a very good class for introductory role players. Yeah. If you're just coming into role playing in general, or to the Palladium system, and you're not sure about the magic in Riffs, this is a great OCC for you, because it will allow you to experience being a magic user in this world, while at the same time not confusing you or befuddling you with a lexicon of terminologies, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's nice, simple, straightforward, but it does get more powerful as levels go. The next one would be the Techno-Wizard. Techno-Wizard is basically a magic user who combines technology and magic together to create magical artifacts.
Essentially, he imbues old armor, old weapons, well, it could be new armor or new weapons, for that matter.
Could be either.
Using crystals and his own natural abilities, and so he can create that gun that shoots fire or shoots electricity. If you need to cast Armor of Ithan, then he can imbue it, and instead of being able to cast it upon himself, if he has body armor, he simply binds that spell to the body armor, and he therefore will have that on top of the body armor itself.
Yeah, it's a very different way of casting spells. The last one is Shifter. This is my favorite. It's kind of the powerhouse of the magic users. You pretty much, if you're a shifter, you can do just about everything.
You can come across as pretty godly. Carmen is downplaying it a little bit because this is the class that he truly enjoys.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
And if you are that player that has a lot of bravado and the ability to represent themselves well in a role-playing scenario, you can really get away with doing a lot as a shifter. The more creative you are, the more it will lend to you enjoying this OCC.
Yeah. All right. The next, well, actually, the thing I'd like to finish saying with them is kind of give you an idea of the types of stuff shifter can do. He can link to a greater power above him to gain more abilities. He has a familiar that can get specialized familiars. Things like baby drakes and giant spiders and stuff that are not available to other magic users. He's got full spell complement. He can summon a host of demons and stuff to serve as his minions. He just basically has it all in one package. I love that guy. But carrying on, The next thing we have are psychics, and that starts with the burster.
Now, I've actually played the Burster, and I really do enjoy playing this class. It's another class that's kind of superhero-like, and
Yeah,
as
very
we've
much.
stated before, I love superheroes. The Burster gets psychic powers that pertain primarily to fire, although he does also get access to some minor level psychic abilities as well. The Burster can do things such as expel flame, or put flames out, or he can make a flame that has already come into existence, he can make it even bigger and more grandiose by pumping PPE into it. So definitely a lot of fun, and I definitely played him before I played the the Mystic. Or
it's all revolved around fire.
Yeah.
The next of the psychics is kind of the big all psychic power guy, and that's the Mind Melter. He gets his name from the fact that he's got powers to dominate and control other people's minds, but he is the psychic that can get everything. All the powers are open to him. He's the big specialist in psychic. That pretty much covers him, but he is, mega league powerful. Then we got the kind of quasi-human type things, humanoid things. We have dog boys, which are humanoid, altered dogs to humanoid shape, and they have psychic abilities to sense and track psychics. And there's the Psy Stalker, who are mutant humans who have powers to sense and track other humans. Both of them are kind of sensitive powers. After that, we got dragons. Now, dragons, these are hatchlings, they're babies. There's like 6 types of them. They have various abilities, things like fire breath or turning invisible, plus they can cast spells, and they have psychic powers, and they're MDC creatures, and they just have a host of abilities.
It does go on and on.
Yeah. And then to close out our classes, the OCC section of things, we have the Coalition soldiers, basically the main Coalition characters. Now there's a bunch more Coalition ones in the Coalition war campaign, but these are kind of like the starter ones, and it has the old school style armors for them. The quick list of them is, as I'm reading off here, is the Coalition Grunt, the SAMUS Pilot, the Coalition Military Specialist, and the Coalition Technical Officer. Also, the Psy Stalker that we talked about and the Dog Boys are generally Coalition characters.
In a campaign, if you're playing Coalition, it really does it kind of gives you rails to keep your campaign in.
Yeah.
So you're going to do things that are definitely pertain to a more military or societal control scenario, and less mercenary, less on your own. It's almost like working for the government, because the Coalition essentially, well, as its name implies, they're a coalition, they are organized, and so you will have someone to answer to. Generally speaking, in most campaigns, you don't start at the top. You start at the bottom, or maybe your middle management, which is as good as being at the bottom anyway. So.
But yeah, so Coalition, you generally if you're playing a Coalition campaign, you're probably going to all be Coalition. But anyway, that wraps up the different character classes. We're going to come back one more time for riffs to close out basically what's left in the book and to give an idea of the rest of the stuff. So check us back on the part 3, and that's from the riffs.